Julia here. In case you haven't noticed, I'm in college and I'm an author. So we're gonna do a college author Q&A. A lot of people have been asking me questions about the college life, the writing life, my life, so I figured I'd take some time to answer some of your questions. Thank you for everyone who responded on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Insta stories, the whole shebang. If you did not get your question answered and you didn't put it in or submit it, then absolutely leave it in the comments below or DM me. I will be doing another one of these in the future, so think of your questions and let me know. Alright, so question number 1 is, what is the hardest part about being a college author? It's definitely time management. There's just a lot of stuff to balance, and like in high school, it was kind of one of those things where once you finished a project done, I have free time now, I can use that free time to write. For college, and especially the classes I'm taking, the work never really strictly ends. We have projects, new projects every week. We have assignments that are due on every Friday or every Tuesday. Classes are constantly changing and updating, and there's always things to do. So it's very easy to spend just hours and hours and hours and hours on schoolwork, and you're like, wow, I haven't eaten in 14 hours, where and when am I gonna write? So I'm still kind of learning and getting used to it, but I've definitely gotten better, especially it's NaNoWriMo season, and if I'm gonna find time to write 1,667 words a day, I'm gonna need to figure it out. And I have been getting better, so time management definitely harder. Do you have any advice for writing fight scenes with animals, wolves particularly? Ooh, this is an interesting question. I would recommend watching videos of how the animal moves and how it interacts with different species depending on what the fight scene is, because not all wolves move the same, not all dogs or cats move the same. Some have different stalking techniques, some are solo predators, some work in packs. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you do your research on the type of animal that you're working with and making sure that you're describing them the way that they are in real life, because it'll bring a new type of realism to the scene that'll just add another layer of complexity to your work. So yeah, definitely look and do your research on the type of animal that you're working with. How do you balance NaNoWriMo in college? I'm only in high school and it's super hard. Well, it's super hard in college too, I can tell you that. I definitely remember Nano being extremely difficult in high school, and it's extremely difficult in college too, but I will say high school and college are different. So in high school I had straight classes from 7:20 to 2 p.m. roughly. In college, it's a Monday when I'm filming this right now. My first class isn't until noon. So I have all this time in the morning, and yes, I would love to sleep in, but I don't sleep in because I'm a writer and I have other things to do. So it's kind of just figuring out and using those moments in time. I know a lot of people who use that time to relax or to watch YouTube and Netflix, and I do those things too, but finding a balance between relaxation and also doing your quote-unquote fun work, as in writing work. So just balancing your time and just understanding and setting realistic goals for yourself. Because if you say you're gonna write 2,000 words a day instead of 1,667 for Nano, it might be possible, but that's not really a realistic goal. If you know your writing speed and you know your limits, set goals accordingly and you'll be okay. Good luck with Nano, by the way. I hope it's going well for you. I fell behind for a couple of days, but I think I'm catching up, so yay! Next up we have, what is your all-time favorite musical? This is hard. Whoever wrote this knows I love theater and music. I did a video a little while ago on how theater and storytelling kind of relate, so check that out if you're a theater lover too. All-time favorite musical? I think I'm gonna have to say Dear Evan Hansen. Literally, I've talked about this musical 50 times on this channel, but it is a wonderful musical for young and old. The music is amazing. It's all contemporary acoustic guitars. It is absolutely beautiful, makes me cry every time. I've seen it twice on Broadway. I would love to see it again, so highly recommend Dear Evan Hansen. As for like original musicals, like the OGs, I actually saw Phantom of the Opera recently, and I love that show too. The music is so beautiful. It's right in my vocal range, so I can sing all the crazy songs and all the light soprano stuff, so that's also very fun, but I think Dear Evan Hansen takes the cake for me. Which author has influenced your work the most? I'm gonna have to say Andy Weir, the author of The Martian. I actually did a video a long time ago talking about his influence on me and how much his work has meant to me. Because first of all, Andy Weir is such a cool guy, okay? I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. I believe it's Weir. But he started writing The Martian on his blog for free, and it was just like a passion project that he just started doing. It gained so much traction that people were like, you need to put this on like somewhere that people can access it. He didn't want people to pay money for it, so he put it on Kindle for the least amount of money. He put it on Kindle for 99 cents, and then it got picked up by a major organization after it like reached #1 like 3 weeks in a row or something, and then he got traditionally published. But I just love, it is so clear in The Martian. I keep looking over there because I have his book on my shelf. It is just so clear how much he loves his work and how much he loves sci-fi and science, and I just love The Martian so much. Like I love that book so much. Whenever I'm sad, I just open it to a random page and there's going to be something on there to make me laugh, because his book has just so much, there's so much humor in it, but there's so much like depth and just, it's a great book. I loved Artemis as well. Like honestly, anything he writes, I will read. It, plain and simple. Which of all your characters that you've created is your favorite? This is a hard question. This is like choosing a favorite child. Because we're asking the real questions here, I am going to say Samuel in The Scavenger, which I know all my other characters are so sad. But here's why. So I love all of my characters. Obviously, if I've spent months writing them, I better like them. But Samuel was one of the more difficult for me to write. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do with his character. Originally, when I wrote The Scavenger, I thought the story was Catherine's story. They are dating in The Scavenger and there's stuff that happens between them. And I thought it was originally Catherine's story. Once I realized the story was actually Samuel's, his character blossomed. I cannot express, if you read the first draft of The Scavenger to the final, it's a completely different book. Samuel has changed so much. And it's not that, I guess his character is amazing, but it was more watching it grow and knowing where it started and seeing where it ended up now. It just like, I can't believe that I did that. Like I don't want it to sound like super self-righteous or anything, but it really just wasn't just me. It was my betas, it was my parents for helping me out and kind of seeing where that character could be, and just like being able to witness that growth. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. Last but not least, do you outline your novels, and if so, how do you outline them? So I do outline because I have a lot of trouble balancing all the things that are going on, especially with a book like Missing Her, where there's like time travel, lots of characters, it gets complicated. For The Scavenger, I actually used this big board, and for each of the different perspectives, I had a different post-it note so I could see which character was going to be doing which scene and which perspective I was using, all that good stuff. With Missing Her, I did more of my quote-unquote traditional style of outlining, as in the outlining I had done for all the books that I didn't publish before The Scavenger, which was just straight, like, what I call word vomit, just getting everything down on paper, and then later, before I start writing, organize it, look at the scenes, like define characters and plot points and things like that. To be honest, the book I'm working on now, I'm kind of doing that as well, but it's a little more haphazard. I haven't actually found one style of plotting that works perfectly for me because each book I've written is very, very different. The Scavenger had 4 perspectives. Missing Her had all this time travel and jumping back and forth and like dates and times that I needed to keep track of, and sometimes I changed it. I'd forget what like season I'm writing in, like so and so walks outside, what color are the leaves on the trees? I don't know, I need to figure that out. The one I'm writing now is also very complicated, but in a different way, so I'll get to that in a little while. But yeah, so right now I'm kind of bouncing between different styles of plotting, but find the type that works for you. Try different things. If one style doesn't work, it's okay. There are so many types of plotting and there's not a right or wrong way to do it. Alright, so that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much if you submitted a question. I had so much fun answering them. I will definitely be doing another one of these in the future, so if you have a question that wasn't answered, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys for stopping by. Bye!